Okay, so this is a pretty typical rehab project for a short sale when we're submitting to the bank and we're looking at repairs and what the exit strategy will be. So I want to take you kind of through this house. It's a split level house up in the Chicago area. Some of the things we're going to look at, or we're going to look at this carpet. This is not cleanable carpet, especially when we're talking to a bank, and so when we're looking at what it's going to cost to rehab, and when we look at what the offer is going to be, these are some things that we look at, some basic things, carpet, ceiling, paint, those type things. In here, typical small dining room area with a dog that kind of takes care of himself all over the house. In the kitchen, we're going to be able to claim, if you look over here, all of this tile is going to have to come up. Now the difference in this is it looks like if you get right down in here, and I'll take you kind of around this corner, if you look at this, it looks like they've just glued this down. There's no hardy backer, there's none of that stuff. So this means we're going to not only have to put tile, but we're going to have to go in and we're going to have to put down something underneath that tile so that it stays down. That's certainly more expensive than just laying down what they have here, so that'll help us kind of analyze the rehab numbers. In a lot of these houses, you're going to see wear and tear on these corners, so you can either go back in with granite. In this house, it's kind of a mid-price range house. We're probably going to go back in and we're going to tile this, and then we're going to re-tile the backsplash. That'll save some money, but it will also give a look that appears like the house has been updated and remodeled. This carpet area that's coming up, it's not really laid down real well. And in the bathrooms, in this bathroom anyhow, we're going to be able to come in, and this whole area is going to have to be painted. And there's even some wear and tear up along the areas up there. Let's go ahead and go downstairs and we'll take a look at the basement. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the split level area. The first thing we know is again, all this carpet's got to come out. One thing that we will look at on the rehab is we may just restain this. This is good hard wood, and if this can be fixed and make it look nice, we may go back in with the hardwood and not even go back with carpet. Depends on what's underneath some of this stuff. Basement, split level. Big nice open space here. That's a good selling point. Again, we don't know what's under the carpet. If it's hardwood, we'll stick with it. If not, we may go back in with some type of hardwood. I'm a big fan of hardwood. It lasts longer. It's easier to take care of. But here's where you've got to really be careful on your rehabs as you go through and you take a look at what some of these things are. But because the garage door is attached to that structure, the garage door is going to have to come down, and there's no guarantee that it's going to go back up as it should. So it's possible that new garage doors are going to be needed. On this side, there is no garage door, at least opening, and there is some damage there. So we will be able to claim some of the stuff in this garage, which will help us out. Another thing to look at when we're looking at these is exterior paint issues. This is pretty weathered. One thing that we will do is when I come through, what I'll do is I'll come through here and I'll start looking, and I'll actually grab a knife, and I'm going to start picking at this stuff. And you may see that it comes apart pretty easy. In some cases, some parts of the country, you have to be real careful about termites. This one doesn't appear to be, and you can always tell that's solid. If it breaks up real easy, then you're looking at possibly a termite problem, and then you get into more expenses, and a lot of times termites can be extremely expensive. This one has the vinyl siding, so really not a lot you can do to this. You can power wash it, but there's really not a lot of stuff that you can do with that. That is a pretty typical rehab situation. My feeling on this house is between probably $18,000 and $20,000, which means when we're negotiating, those are things that we have to take into consideration so that we leave room on the exit strategy if this is going to be one that we're going to fix up and sell.
take